When you think of planning, what do you see? Do you envision using a paper or a digital calendar to keep track of the schedules and appointments? Now, I'm not an expert, but that's probably what most people think of first. But if you really think about it, planning doesn't always take place within the constraints of a calendar system. The definition that I've found to be true is that planning happens anytime I need to coordinate getting something done. And I have 4 kids, and I've been a mom for going on 16 years. So you can imagine that involves a lot of coordinating. And we all plan on a regular basis, but just might not be aware of it. So for instance, like before you go to bed, you likely think about what time you should wake up before you set your alarm. That's planning. In other words, anytime you're thinking about a future event and you're taking action to prepare for that event, you're planning. And if you're watching this video and you're subscribed to this channel, you probably want to improve your planning skills. Is that you? Pause the video right now, leave me a comment, and let me know. Say, yes, Lauren, I want to plan better. Maybe that's because you've recently realized that you've been showing up unprepared, or maybe because you've been feeling overwhelmed lately. If that's you, it's okay. I've been there. Even as someone who's always considered herself to be a planner. Okay, so now that I've defined planning, and do me a favor, hit that like button if this is resonating with you so far and you're glad that you made time to watch this video. But now I want to share a few ways that I've found planning to be helpful in my own life as a stay-at-home mom. So firstly, writing down important dates and events and schedules like kids' activities, doctor's appointments, and birthdays, that helps me reduce the chance of forgetting about them. What I do is I put it on my monthly view, but seeing an upcoming event on the calendar helps me to prepare better. Like, seeing that I might need to buy gifts, or I might need to arrange for someone to watch my kid, or I need to plan around meals, that kind of thing. Second, visually seeing my schedule on paper helps me to realistically plan for the to-dos that I want to accomplish. And it also helps me to see where I might be overscheduled. So for example, on Monday the 8th, there were several things happening that were going to take up some time, and knowing how long these events take and also thinking about what I want to do. Is there enough time in the day for me to do those things based on what I have left that isn't already dedicated to events and appointments and that sort of thing? So visually seeing it all out will help me see that, wow, Monday is a busy day for me. Or wow, Friday is a busy day for me. So let me not expect to be able to do a list of things that is a mile long. Or if, in my instance, when I have a busy day, the following day needs to be a little bit more chill. And I need to have a little bit extra cushion time to recharge and recover. So if I have a day in the week where a lot happened, I try and make sure that the following day, to an extent that I can, I don't do a bunch of things on that day too, knowing that I just naturally will have less energy that day and need to recharge. And third, using my planner and checking in with it throughout the day helps me to stay focused on the most important things. And it reduces the chance of my entire day disappearing without having done anything that I actually needed to do. So I use a weekly as my overview, and then I turn to a daily page to reference what's happening. I write it down here, and then this is all I look at for the day, because I don't need to see my whole week, because today I'm only focusing on today. Tomorrow I'll focus on tomorrow, and that's how I get through one day at a time. If you are someone like me who tends to think of all the things that need to get done and it's all living in your head, having it written down like this will free up so much brain space. And it seems so simple. It seems like, Lauren, that can't be true. There's no way that if I just write it all down, it's going to make me feel better. Because writing it down doesn't mean the things are getting done, right? Writing it down doesn't mean, I can go like this and my job is done. No, the stuff still needs to get done. Can it be haunting to look at the list of things that need to be done? Yeah. But I've found that it is way more stressful to keep it all up in my head than to have it written down. And honestly, a lot of the times when it was living in my head, I felt like my day was going to be all consumed by the events that were scheduled for that day. But once I wrote them down and I visually saw, my brain was like, wait a minute, I have time. And that way it was freeing, because I went from feeling like there are just so many things to do, I don't have any time, to, yeah, there are things to do, but I have time to do them. I went from, there are so many things to do around the house, but if I break it up and do a little bit each day, there's time to do them. So remember, planning happens anytime you need to coordinate getting something done. And it doesn't matter how big or small that something is. And if you're a stay-at-home mom, you have a lot of things to get done. I don't care that someone who works outside the home thinks that you, as a stay-at-home mom, have all the time in the world, that your job is easier. No, it's not. It's not easier. You have way more distractions. Sure, you're home, but you have your kids around. And getting things done with the kids around without having some kind of plan in place is maddening. It's stressful. You probably get to the end of the day and you're like, what the hell did I do? Excuse my language. And so since doing this, since writing down in the morning, these are the things I want to do today, I don't come to the end of the day anymore and think, what did I do? Today was a waste. I can look back at this and say, oh, look at all the things I did today. Do you know how encouraging that is? Just that simple shift in my mind, in that self-talk, to go from, dang, I never did anything. I didn't do anything today. What did I do? Yeah, you did things. You took care of your kids. You didn't not do anything. So even if you aren't listing out things that you want to do today, even if the only thing you want to do today is sit down and have 10 minutes to yourself to read a book or to do a yoga practice. If that's the only thing that you want to do today, fine. Planning will give you peace of mind. Even if the plans are to do nothing other than to Netflix and chill. Even if the plans are to ignore the chores and just play with the kids. That's a plan. But if you don't sit down and say, this is how I intend to spend my day, your mind is going to haunt you with all the things that need to get done that you are ignoring. But when you set the intention that this is what I'm going to do today, it frees up that space in your mind. So if you start thinking about this, and that, you can say to yourself, no, I'm not doing that today. What is planning? Planning is peace of mind. Planning reduces stress. If you have made it all the way to the end of this video, thank you so much for watching. Leave me a comment down below letting me know that you are ready to master your stress. I am looking forward to helping you on your journey. Bye.